University of Life from the professor from the school organizers. You'll never find a successful crack addict in active use, or you'll never find an active heroin addict in active use, nor do you those that want to get on this train ride adventure, the perilous course of events that always ends up in a train ride of despair. That has the ability to paralyze your directions, the right and wrong to know which way to travel. In a train ride, they'll never make you break your habit or get off this runaway train. Whereas if you break your habit as it runs its course through your life, and now you may not have enough time to stop, or no time to stop when you should have never bought the ticket on this train that's on a one-way course that has no directions, the path throughout your life. As that's when you will have a hard time turning off this train once started. Therefore, through the time of when you should have just said no. Whereof getting off this train, this ride, once started, is a hard thing to do. The redundancy to what makes you happy because of the ups and downs of the ride that forces you to stay on this train. And this cracks every time you overuse or abuse this train through life. And when this could break your heart, it may break like it's done before. This travels of your heart, this ride of people who are looking for a hero. As that's when you realize you'll never find your end in the means of a good time in a trade like this. However, once you get started, it's just hard to pull the brakes in the school of hard knocks. It's just a lesson learned. So, want to be honest, it's harder than before to get to forget about the blind happiness that the substance has made for you to think of the false hope and happiness that's given you. So being where you're broken from where the wear and tear from the tough life, in the middle school of hard knocks life. So it's hard to mend the cracks and find a hero within to overcome these problems. Because addictions force them to feed their addictions that cost everything and cost nothing more. Otherwise, when you look back in those days when it was just as you desire to get higher in the wake of an escaping moment to your problems of finding fun, or the pressure-driven desire to be happy. However, this may control you in every waking moment of being in the adventures through this perilous train ride that never stops until it finds what is missing in this void that needs to be filled. The use of overabuse, and when you will be in a battle to keep the void full of false happiness. Then your life will be filled with the false hope of every day it'll be okay, the endless drive and insanity to fill your void, the false hope controlling you and never stop your craving. Therefore, that might overwhelm you to think of nothing more or nothing second, because you desire that you only for your addiction feeds your addictions. Now, a lot of people do this to escape their problems, but in the end, they will overwhelm you to find more new problems to overcome for you to control. So they control you. Therefore, as this is generally speaking to generally thought about going to finding your way to escape your problems. But reality, in the end, this will end controlling you. Is being controlled fun? Fun? I think not. So before you react, you use common sense. And now all you want to be is free of your problems to be able to regain what is now lost in your life, and gain back your sanity to a better time and place, and be in a simpler state of mind at a different time. However, when you bought your ticket on this train, you should have looked at the instructions of how the substance could cause destruction in more times than it helps. Therefore, as you are in the questions and answers to find the enjoyment in your life at the price that you pay for all these perspectives to yourself, and you may give you consequences to your actions. In your future, you may feel as though you're a lost cause. Then again, you may blow the days to be free of your sanity and taking hold of your little seek attention. But you should have thought of your actions to those past acts of discovery of the runaway train of nowhere, and might not want to relive what the damage has caused your life. And you might want to forget about these problems. However, on the contrary, you preserve and do all these perspectives to those problems that take a hold of you and force, and this force will never want to let go. The simplest way is to go. The answer is just say no. So to be aware of the consequences to your actions. As the lessons are to be learned, the easy way is just to say no, or the hard way that's taught in the school of hard knocks. And for your future to know, to just say no. Do you need to know more? If you do, just go through more problems than needed. So if you don't use common sense, or if you're not aware of the mindset of past judgments upon yourself as a state of mind that could be a train wreck, whereof you have to pave your own goal, pave out your goals, and you should be there for you are in control of your own life. Otherwise, as you may want to accomplish the pursuit of happiness in life and actions to have fun, of these kinds of regrets and boredom and false hope, as you may feel those days that you miss the time and time to be through your back, and you bring in the feelings as you it helps to remember the past. Whereas you may see, as is needed, there are many sides of life, the battles you pick. Therefore, as your eyes see it to be what you want to know, how it goes, and now the pressures of life's events and these emotions are just to want to see the peer pressure go away. And peer pressure join the club, a school of hard knocks is a hard knot to live through. Perpetual lifestyle problems is what might be your ticket. That's never any motion, and emotional needs to be filled with void, a never endless dance in your life's trials, as you may end up in a world to pick your battles. And that's just how it is in the school of hard knocks and how it works. And then what you will see in the perilous events of how you have affected your life. So as long as So for the long run, in a well-fit plan and unfit plan, to those old forms or new fashions created that you might be new old habits in your life. Therefore, as you pick your battles, you make plans of winning in your way of life as to think before you react, before you best outcome to your problems, as that may be in our needs to be able to overcome these issues, to these obstacles that may be in our way. You'll find throughout your life confound problems that you'll find that will always occur here and there in everyone's life. But but the funny thing about problems, we all have them. However, it's how you overcome them and the question of the consequences. Your state of mind, or use a common sense. There should be a judgment reflected upon the right and wrong to live and question who you are and who you still are today. And so you may find happiness again. As you may have found out about yourself, to be and not to chain down to the new or old found freedoms that have caused caused by bad decisions. So think before you act in your life, so you will like your outcome, and you don't have to change your way of life when you pick the right one. And I believe everyone wants to be free. Therefore, addictions will never be hard to find, and it's going to be hard to break those habits, to form and make a new norm in your life, to be successful in your life, and addictions to overcome individual that may overlook success or freedom of a good time and manner. And you may require desire in a way that may escape control of a stressful lives, of our stressful lives. Whereof to be that even these given and even happen to even help you in many forms in a controlled way, in a controlled atmosphere of atmospheric events. And everyone should know that these may never end in a good outcome when you overuse a bad habit. So for those who have to bear through the witness of his own self-destruction and then in the control of your own life is just as a memory when you question the answer to the question. And your answer to your problems for happiness is a long-term journey to escape your problems when you should have just left them alone. So these are just a troubled time and troubled thoughts that you found and just in trouble this could end up to be. It ends up means that ends destroying your life. In double trouble yourself to try to escape just to have fun. Therefore, it's hard to pick up the pieces where you left off to regain your sanity. However, you may only find out you only drive you insane to what you may end up to be the new stories of hardship and pain and how to clear your mind with the newfound problems. But these stories of your life will end up a good story if you end on a good note. May end up on a high note in many ways to end again what was lost and now found. Therefore, you should be a desire that is wanted and needed into success by your power that lives in you. When you end up in control of your addiction, that will destroy your life if you continue on your addiction path. Otherwise, by the power of controlling what creates new problems, as one will find out, and more after in finding pieces of fractured life. Likewise, you'll find a peace of mind lost in chains that are there, but they're not broken. Your addiction when your habit is calm. As there will be opportunities to give you a look through the windows and doors to straighten out your problems and your mess, to pick up the pieces, so you can feel your inner peace and restore it back to what was. Then your willpower could be used to gain in life and get out of the troubled waters, and your hopes to gain your dignity back, or what would gain back your pride that you find again. But it took a long time to turn your life into what you turned itself into, and went in a hard way to learn the school of hard knocks. Now, obvious answers should be viewed control is not fun. That's when you just sort of just said no. Whereas through time itself, in a road of life to clear up and found hope and regain your strength, so you may straighten out your problems or what you once had, but it takes time to have your time back to what it was, for to heal the damage that you have done to try to have fun in a moment of your weaknesses. Therefore, in finding out the truth, is a prize to find your eyes in the narrow point of view, looking for your happiness in your blinded view of reality. Then to answer your problems and escape your problems is the way to be done. That's the right way to have fun. As this is always a tug of war winning the battles, and it gives a new outlook to your life. Therefore, you may have greater high being in control of your own life than you was before. Then, when you find your freedom of being able to be free, you will not be able to be controlled by a substance, and no real need to have to survive off what it was, and you will begin then be free. Now you need to feel alive by being in control of your own life that lives with you, your power, and you feel free. That's in you, and always will be as your way to be free. Therefore, you're bound to feel alive from your freedom. Then, when your newly found freedom in your power and your control is restored in your own life, that will empower you to regain your life, and you're restored to be given hope in your life, to have found willpower and end the madness of this runaway train that you have gotten on. So the venture points to the hard-brained muscles that you may have made you stronger individual in your life and got your house in order when you got your house in order, so that you may restore your life to be in order. Then you had intended this to be what it was sought after to begin a new experience in life. Whereas your desires to just find what you thought was fun, that may make you crash down in reality of something, sometimes cause more problems than needed. Then in this moment, the time to see it help, does it help or does it not help you out when your favorite thing to do to overpower you. So don't do what you do, don't do nothing else that may control you. Now you may overcome these addictions if you reverse course from what you was that made you bad decisions. Whereas a step in the right direction is is on the way you see to be free and change your ways of life. Therefore, in your journey, you'll change your way of life one way or another to see it be done in your life. You may be done as a personal high return back to norm. We're all returned to what was, lost in misfortunes, the journeys and shaded views, in a cloud overcast that's called your life, to be brought in by the sunshine that has brought you back to what was. Then the clearing of you that found the shelter and found the light that ended the tunnel. Therefore, you will feel better in perpetual need to feel your problems and in hopes and balance of being high in life. It's just be to control the outside, not be controlled by outside influence. So you gain balance to return to see the light that once was. Then, when you regain your life to gain back to sanity by the best and worst things that you lost in your way through the learning curve, you made it only your own way in life. Once again, without the ones that will control you, the best behavior predicted is addiction's behavior of your reality has turned against you. Whereas your old world of living in controlled by the substance that controlled you in your life. That will control you in your life. Now, in your new world, you should be in control of your own life again because it's hard lessons learned to get off this train in the school of hard knocks to return and restore your life. Therefore, you should just say no because you want to remain in control, and that's the way it goes when you find your strength and you may use the tools and knowledge to straighten out your life before it causes more harm in your life. So you find your way to another way to be free, to be yourself, and you should be free yourself. These chains, a chance to regain what was lost. Then, when you gain back your sanity, your gates of your willpower will be restored so that you get back your freedom that will be restored. So you know to be free to change addictions, you feel free and healthy, your mind and spirit to be free. Whereas you unchain your body, control yourself, controlled substances, having back your personal liberties once again. Now you may see the ability, you have the ability to gain back your dignity and self-pride, and you may breathe in the fresh air of your life that came in and now comes about in the life of a newfound fun of just being free. As this is the things that control you and even me. As this is given naturally as once you're free to live your life. Therefore, if you're drunk, these drugs will never end up good because the addictions will control you and conflicted interest and conflicted with everything else in your life. And once you start a ride on the school of hard knocks, because it's full form within you, the constant need to fill that void that was once needed to be filled with love and hope and dreams. That will cause the whole problems, then more problems than needed when not there as it was before. So then, in all your reflections of power struggles from within to take your place, in the hardship, in the heartaches, in the hard life, in and out of all these places that cause problems in your life that you may have been in now, back to what was. And now you may be on your be ready for your graduation day out of this way of life. Therefore, it's full of hard knocks. You'll only look back at your accomplishments as you should in your life. And if you may let this destroy your life, you have not accomplished your goals. Therefore, prediction of success in your life is always a test to one's inner strength. To look within and find your inner strength that lives within you. And that goes wherever you go throughout your life. This is just the lessons that you learn and remember. And this is just for you to just say no. Then you may be able to retake control of your life.